It's Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning Part 2. That's a mouthful. Is this movie any good? Is it doing well in theaters? I think it is. My theater was full. But I got some disappointing news coming up next. Longtime viewers of this channel know I really like the Mission Impossible franchise. Most franchises they just drag on and on. I don't care for them over time, and I can't even remember what happened in the first and the third and the eighth movie when they give me the 10th movie. But the Apes franchise in this one, I've always kind of liked, including I thought this franchise got better after, Mission Impossible 4 through 7 or 8. I'm so confused how many there are, but the last 4 or 5 have been, actually to me, quite good, quite cinematic. Now, here we are on what might be the last one. It's the way that Tom Cruise talks in his introductory thank you. There are 3 to 5 montages that review all the prior movies in this particular movie. They not only want to get you caught up to speed on what happened in part 1, but in Mission Impossible 1, they reference 1996 and the first movie many, many, many times, as if we can remember 29 years ago. And this is like what, older authors or older artists do. They tend to do a retrospective of their whole work and bring a lot of it into the last or one of the last works. This one has a lot of the old stuff in it. Obviously, car chases. Tom Cruise takes his shirt off probably 4 to 5 times. There are 2 to 3 sprint scenes in this. There are 3 countdown clocks. Not 1, not 2, not 3 I think there are 2 nuclear bombs even in this one. So they're going to pack this full of stuff from the old movies. Nevertheless, I found this quite dull at times, unfortunately, and not up to par as Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie, the director-producers, have done in the last 4 movies. Now, the plot, I even have trouble with that because I didn't want to look it up and read it to you and act like an expert here. I want to come out like a normie would. And I asked a bunch of people around me, what was the plot? What was the villain doing? The entity, the AI who wants to take over the internet and take over every single country's nuclear missile program and blow up the world. Why does it want to do this? What is this thing? And nobody could tell me. So I don't think the movie is super clear. You probably could figure it out if you paid close attention to look into the lore. But coming out of this movie, it's kind of hard to remember what was that computer up to. And even with a villain who's a computer, it's really hard to show it. It's less like a blue thing on screen. That's about it. So as far as a supervillain this movie goes, you actually don't even see it very much. But anyway, Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, whose existential crisis is always on screen for us. Will he save the day, or will he be betrayed by various powers, or will he be seen as a nefarious force by good people? Will he stop bad guys from taking over the world? That sort of thing. In this movie, it goes all out. The entire world, both the internet could be taken down and the entire world could be blown up. And he's got to save the entire world from a rogue AI, as was promised in what I thought was a quite good Dead Reckoning Part 1 movie. I really liked that movie from last summer. So it's basically Cruise versus AI. I mean, that's what this movie is, and I think it hits probably right, because I'm in a moment myself where AI has been very stupid, done some very stupid things, both in terms of customer service and what its output has been for me. So I'm all ready to, for someone to slam AI as just a venture capital hype, So good on Tom Cruise for this one. And it's the same old family stuff. Your crew that you're gonna assemble, ragtag crew, they're your family, and you're gonna love them. And this movie's gonna have like 15 different fortune cookie sayings. It's gonna repeat 50,000 times. Like it is written, no, nothing is written. You're the master of your own destiny. There's a lot of existential hero talk in this movie. There's that saying, "We live and die in the shadows so we can help other people," something like that. Anyway, this movie has where does it go? What are its sets? What are its show-stopping scenes? It's got two big scenes. The last one is kind of hard to believe. I bet Cruise did it himself, and it's kind of stunning if you want to think about it that way, on a biplane. But nevertheless, this movie for the first hour and a half is talk. People yapping at each other for an hour and a half, and it doesn't stop. As most of you know, exposition a lot of times is not great, but here they decided to do a lot of exposition and then explain the exposition in flashback montages. So I felt like this was an old man going away movie, nostalgia for all the previous movies in the franchise. They're trying to tie it all together like the MCU, which they don't need to do in my opinion. And they're nostalgic, as if all viewers are nostalgic for Mission Impossible, which I don't think is the case. Thankfully, James Bond never committed this sin, but this movie too many times goes over and over its franchise lore visually, and that always stops the narrative and stops the fun, in my opinion. By the way, if you really want some good movies, check out my new book, The Great Unknowns, 100 of the best movies I think nobody knows about. Check out the link below in the description. Anyway, I did like the back half of this movie to some extent. When it wasn't talking in fortune cookie language and being nostalgic, it is kind of fun when it does go, go, go stuff. And you'll know those two scenes when you see them. They're pretty darn good. Tom Cruise pulls off what he loves, which is do that silent actor movie thing. He wants to be the awesomest Buster Keaton that there ever was, and he goes down into the depths here to do so, and Buster Keaton did that 100 plus years ago. And then there's Old Man Talk. This is, maybe if it's the last in the franchise, it's like The Dark Knight Rises, which is about a middle-aged man going through pain and suffering, unendurable pain, and having to live through that and master pain. And here, Ethan Hunt's character, he's going to do that as well and become your existential hero in the vein of Lord of the Rings. There's a little Lord of the Rings talk in this movie, and it's arguing with Lord of the Rings about can Ethan Hunt control the so-called Ring of Power, which you will know what that is when you see the end of the movie, or will nobody control the Ring of Power? And so there's a little argument about, is there such a thing as a good man in the world who can hold on to the Ring of Power and not try to destroy the whole world? A la AI in Silicon Valley, which this movie has some tinges of a dislike towards because AI is taking over the world and going to destroy it in this movie. One other thing I don't like about this movie, besides an hour and a half of exposition and more, is that it's a lot of close, tight shots over and over and over. Close, tight, and then tilted. Oh my goodness, they don't stop with the tilted shots. I thought that was overboard here. And for Mission Impossible to not do wider shots of a setting and environment, it only does it in the action scenes, but in the early scenes, I think the feel is they want to be claustrophobic because that's part of the mission of the movie, to go down at the depths into a submarine. But I don't think that this franchise, I think it's been great when it's done wider sort of shot work where the Hunt character goes into an opera, when he goes into a desert, when he goes into a big social environment in various cities. This franchise is known for city hopping. And then you see these sort of vistas with the Hunt character within them versus those close, tight shots that never seem to end in this movie. And then you have tilted shots, and then you have old people in these shots, and it gets a little annoying after a while. When I say old people, I don't mean that anything bad about that. It's just that Tom Cruise, to me, my one complaint, he's looking old, which is just fine. God bless him. He's aging great, but his hair looks like young man's hair, and his abs look like middle-aged man abs. So it's a real mismatch for me, and my brain does not process the old face, young hair look very well. It just looks so fake and plasticky to me. Maybe they need a young man for this role, but once again, Cruise in these roles is trying to, say 60 is the new 20. I don't like that theme. Gen X should embrace being old, in my opinion, because darn it, I'm old. But yeah, if I had to rank this movie in the series, it would be in the bottom 3, somewhere with Mission Impossible 2 and 3. And it's too bad because I really liked part 1. The one with Henry Cavill was the best one in my opinion, or one of the best ones, the one that Brad Bird directed. I think that was Rogue Nation. Number 4 is really good. So I would recommend all those to you, like numbers 4 through 7. But this one, no. That's too bad. And my kids didn't like it, and I've talked to other people that didn't like it as much, but maybe you will. Let us know in the comments if you do. Anyway, please subscribe to this channel for more great content, including my other videos which praise Mission Impossible movies. See you later.